Yes, and welcome to Vasily's Garden, folks. We're going to go for a little walk to see what sort of puddles we've got in the garden or around the property, because it came down like there was no tomorrow. Look at that. Now the sun's out, you can't see because I'm hiding behind the tree. And before you realise it, by the time we finish this little segment, I reckon it's going to come down again. So don't get me started on this weather. This is about 10 minutes of rain we had, on and off, all day. 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. Look at this. It's just not, this is mad. I want to show you the mess around here. See, this is what we call nature's own swale. We get a puddle down here and it rolls all the way down, digs a little trench through the pathway and runs all the way down to the creek. Just come up to the warehouse. 10 minutes. This tells you that it's been a heavy rainfall. Okay, so this can get really worse, but in 10 minutes, that's a big downpour, folks, for us to be able to hold water. We've got a sump pump there also. I haven't turned it on, and I shouldn't have to turn it on. It should drain naturally, but that's what happens when it rains like this. Now, that's our weather for Melbourne. Our forecast, more rain. Because the weather's turned to autumn, almost winter, I'm going to get myself ready for some autumn planting, folks. I'm prepping these beds up. Now, these two capsicums I planted a while ago, and they were covered up with the old cos lettuce that had bolted and gone to seed. I decided to turf them because I've got too many plants. I don't need 1,000 plants with seeds. I'm tossing between whether I just put my lettuce in here or I actually put some broccoli, because that's what we're getting into. So you can start sowing your seeds now if you like, for your autumn range, or you can go straight into the seedling range. The only thing you've got to worry about is when you plant anything even like parsley, for example, when it gets really hot, 25, 30 degrees, and then plummets down to 17, 18, when it gets back up again, it can actually cause the plant to bolt, and that means it goes to seed. You get a lot of flowers before the plant actually produces the goods, you know, the food that you want, which is quite frustrating to say the least, but nevertheless, that's the weather we've got. This bed here has got the mulch in it. It's got the old compost and soil underneath there. Now, I actually came here earlier when I pulled it all out before the rain came down again. Pulled out all the lettuce, and it was dry as a bone underneath. And I mentioned that yesterday, I think it was, when I was talking about, even though it's raining, don't think it's actually getting through into the soil deep enough. They're not long bursts of rain as we had in early springtime, and in other parts of Australia as well, they had some heavy rainfalls. So we've had some hot weather, and when the rain comes down again, it's a false sense of security. You think it's actually quite wet, where in fact it will be dry. Now, you saw the puddles earlier on, so you can see how much rain we had in such a short burst, and it's been doing that all throughout the day. And this garden bed is basically exposed. There's only a bit of bird netting over the top, so water will get through quite easily. All right, have a look at this. It bucketed down. We've got pools of water everywhere, and if I go down here, look at this. Look at that. Dry as a bone, folks. Seriously, where's the water gone? You can't tell me that there wasn't enough rain in this spot here. It came down like everything else. And this is my point about mulch. Mulch needs to stay hydrated. And if you don't hydrate it enough, it will suck the moisture out of the ground and keep the ground dry on the roots. And you don't want that. And that's what causes plants to bolt. When they start to stress out, they will bolt. Yeah, I've got a drip system here, but I haven't turned it on, thinking that it's actually going to be raining enough. So the drip system is great, but it's actually more important when it's under the mulch, not on top, because it's only hydrating the mulch. Yes, the mulch serves a purpose. It will keep the soil cool, it'll keep it warm in winter and all that stuff, but it will also keep it dry if you don't soak it properly. So factor that in when you're watering your garden. Now, this bed here, this mulch is going to disappear. I'm going to leave it underneath here like this, or on top as it is here. And what I'm going to do is going to start layering this again on top. So we're going to still keep practicing our no-dig garden, unlike what Alex does in his garden and many other places that we visited. They dig it over and they prepare it again. They put the manure down and all things like that. What we're going to do is just layer it. So we're going to first layer our compost, our superfood, and our planting mix on top. That's one bag. Might actually put another bag on top of that. First, let me just spread that out first and see how it goes. This is our organic compost made down here by the City of Greater Geelong City Council, and they take all the green waste and process it through windrows, breaking it down, needs more, and turning it into this beautiful, beautiful texture. It's a beautiful balance of nutrients, so it's all tested properly. There's no chemicals in there at all, and I can say it's almost zero pollutants, because that's how long it sits there to break down. So 2 bags is what I'm laying on here. Now, in the past I'd use cocoa pith as well, but because we've got our mulch underneath, I'm not adding it this time. I'm just putting the compost straight on top, and the mulch is replacing the cocoa pith. Now this is dry as well. Have a look at that. Look how dry it is. So it needs to be hydrated, and we need to get the moisture into it. Now what I'm thinking here, what's going to happen here, folks, is because it's dry like this, we've got the mulch underneath there, and you know how I say mulch needs to be hydrated well, because it retains moisture and sucks moisture out. But because it's underneath, and that's only because it's on top, and the sun dries it out a lot quicker. And it does, look, it does protect the soil. So even if your soil's a little bit dry, your plants are not heating up too much in the root ball, which gives them a longer chance of survival if they're left unhydrated. But with the mulch underneath it like this now, it'll act as 2 purposes. Carbon, it'll start to feed the microbes, become organic matter, and it'll also hydrate from the ground up. So it gives a little bit of porosity in there so to allow the moisture to penetrate through, hydrate the mulch, and then hopefully we've got this exchange of moisture going up and down, and that way the plants don't dry out as fast. Now, on top of this, this is our superfood with our black grit enhanced in here, folks. So if you've got a little container like this with our superfood, it's already got black grit, so you don't really have to add any more black grit to the garden bed. Now, it's 1 to 2 handfuls per square metre. It's a little bit moist, this one here, because I've left it out in the weather. Got to it just in time before it got too wet. This is full of life. It's a bucket full of life. And I'm talking about, you know, bacteria, and good bacteria, and fungi. And all we're doing is just populating it. We're feeding the soil, we're bringing it to life, because it's the bacteria that's going to help your plants grow. It's not about the pH, it's not about the synthetic fertilizers, all that sort of stuff. It's all about the life in the soil. And if you've got a good colony of bacteria going on there, your plants will thrive. And sometimes you'll be able to see it. And I've said it before about citrus trees. You know, when we use the black grit on it, it alkalines or neutralizes the soil, but it helps with the superfood to populate the bacteria. And trees are jumping out of the ground. Even blueberries, for example. I've had people sharing their blueberries with me who've grown over 70 blueberries in their garden and coming into the store and saying, your fault, because of your black grit and superfood, they can't stop picking blueberries. The soil pH has dropped to neutral, whereas normally it should be acidic. Answer that one for me. And they're producing nothing but blueberries, and the plants are as healthy as ever. So there's a lot of good science being done and research done on the bacteria in soil, and the importance of it more so than just the pH. You don't want a fully alkaline soil, you don't want a very acidic soil, you want a neutral soil. That's where 99% of your plants will grow comfortably. And as long as there's life in there, you're not going to lose. It's a win-win. I think the clouds are rolling in. Hurry up. This has got everything you need to be able to grow strong, healthy plants. I love this stuff. Honestly love it. It's been a long time in the making, and we finally got the right blend, and we're having some great success with growing all types of plants, all varieties, not just your veggies, flowering plants as well, everything you can possibly imagine, except for your orchids, obviously. Plants like that need a bark base or, you know, a tree to grow on. Different story altogether, but we're talking flowering plants, your majority of your natives, your citrus, your veggies, your flowering plants, and I'm repeating myself. So 2 bags of the planting mix in this bed. This bed's about just on 3 meters long, and it's about, I think it's about 900 wide, this area here that I've done. So I've put in 2 bags of compost and 2 bags of planting mix, and spread it out. Oh, I can smell that, so rich. Look at this. Look at this cookie. Have a look at that. How good is that? Oh, just crumbles. Oh, that's what you want to see in your garden bed. That sort of life. And this stuff here is just full of life. Just crumble it up. That's the carbon, folks. We've got activated charcoal in here as well. So this is ready. Now, what I'm going to plant in here, I think I'm actually going to put some more capsicums in this little bed here just to finish off the row, because we've got, 10 or 20 over there already. So finish this off here on the other side as well. And then we're going to clean this bed out tomorrow. The next day, take out all the seeded plants, and we're going to fill it up with all our leafy greens. Get ourselves ready for autumn. So if your summer crop hasn't produced well, or you've actually finished and you're about to take it all out, get yourself ready for autumn. So you can start sowing your seeds if you like, or buy your seedlings, or come down to the garden centre, because I'll be there today, and check out the plugs that we have, plug and plant varieties. All the lettuce greens, they're one of the best quality of seedlings you'll ever get. Plenty of varieties there to choose from, and get your garden ready. All you got to do is dig a little hole, pop your seed or your plant in there, and give it a little bit of water. Check out our website, vasilisgarden.com, for everything you need. Our February countdown sale, folks, is still on. Take advantage of it, because each day that goes by, we drop the discount rate by 1%. So every day that goes by, it gets lower and lower. So get in quick before it runs out. From me, Vasili Maresi.